to tap into the potential and the brilliance in people, in communities, in societies, in businesses, and restructure how we are being there. We are wanting to play with it much more consciously, in whether it's through coaching or through stress management, through working with your health, any aspect. We're just wanting to work with the potential of what can bring us to our maximum brilliance, in effect. That's kind of what we are seeing happening everywhere. And just to kind of give you a sense, this is my passion shifted from just being purely in the business space and purely in the charity space to actually being in the societal place. And that happened pretty recently with the work I did with the Visionary Network in Solera. Amazing shifts took place in my own understanding of my purpose, which took me to a place that societies are ready now to evolve to a new place. And we are seeing that with all the changes that are happening around the world. And I knew that new models and new frameworks want to emerge. And those frameworks are beyond the existing ways that business works, or charities work, or communities work, or governments work. So there's something dissolving in all these different structures and boundaries and bursting how businesses need to function, as you can see with everyone hearing and speaking. And there's a convergence happening where all parties want to come together and look at what is evolving in society. Some might look at it as there are issues and challenges, and the planet is, going to an extreme end, and we need to resolve those issues. And being a visionary, I'm always looking, there's potential rising underneath this chaos. There's so much more emerging. Let's tap into that and see what we can create from that. So I think this has been the prime time. I've never seen people wanting to connect with people from all around the world, from all walks of life, do more meaningful stuff, more purposeful stuff that gets them to connect to each other beyond race, beyond countries, beyond cultures, just from a deep human being level. So I think that interconnectedness is rising so much that it's creating that we can actually work and be together in new ways. So, that's kind of what... I mentioned it earlier, and that's something we're seeing, that most of the change is just coming ground up. We're not waiting for the governments to sort it out or the businesses to sort it out or anyone. So the communities and the people are just shifting and creating change in many ways. So what is social brilliance? This was a term that came through last year when we established the Center for Social Brilliance, and Solera is one of the co-creators and, core, how do I say, thought leader is a strange word. I think, it's a co-creator, in effect, of the new thinking that wanted to come through. So there's a group of us from different parts of the world, and we've been working with the whole concept of social brilliance, but in a very collective way. So it's not like, here's the thinking, everybody takes it and goes. It was like, we bring collectives together, see what the thinking is emerging together, and keep growing it. So it's a very new way of creating. It's not the power is in everyone and their intelligence to be, spoken and given a voice to. So social brilliance is basically about bringing alive societies through the expression of brilliance. And this can come across, by bringing alive societies, I'm saying, what is it that if there's a group of people in a business that will truly bring them alive and have an impact on society in such a way that they're all co-creating and unleashing brilliance in the process? Does that make sense? We are all here to express aspects of ourselves that are amazing. We may not acknowledge it sometimes, but we're here. We know we're all brilliant beings. Wherever we are, whatever walk of life we are coming from, we're all brilliant beings. So what does it take to express that brilliance in a full, unleashed way without being constrained by norms in society or in businesses or in, anywhere for that matter? So that is, and to tap into that brilliance requires environments in society that enable that. sense of liberating the brilliance of those people, they will go beyond just being economically independent. They will catalyze a lot more in their communities and for themselves if we can focus on bringing that alive in the communities. So just at India with a group of Danish entrepreneurs who wanted to really see socially innovative ways of creating change in the world and not the standard charity or CSR or, none of those felt right or enough anymore. And what we noticed was when we went to work with a group of microfinanced women who were doing some amazing entrepreneurial activities, we noticed that, yes, they were great at that embroidery and they found an entrepreneurial opportunity to create that. But we also noticed that that whole community wanted to create something together with them, but they never had the opportunity to express that and create that with them. Can you see that shift away from just the entrepreneurial piece that makes you self-reliant? And I know that piece is required at a particular level, but beyond that, if you can think that there's more to people than just making them economically independent, it opens up a much wider spectrum of possibilities. So the whole brilliance scenario is always about expanding possibilities of how the multifaceted aspects of each human being can come alive. Sure. Oh, she wants to speak, you want to speak, everybody wants to speak, go on. But we'll come to that. Let's see what everybody is contributing. It seems like a collective process is emerging. Yeah, without that, it's no point, because that's not your journey. So if it is yours to do, you will find the belief. If it is yours to do, your influence will be at a different level to, just trying to make change, because you will shift to a different vibration altogether. That's the key. So if it is yours to do, we can work with it energetically. But if you think it's not yours to do, or it's yours to do outside the organization and bring it in, then that's the clarity one needs.